Lost Army of Cambyses. The vast Sahara, with its billowing sandstorms and scorching temperatures, has claimed countless lives. Typically, these are individuals or small caravans that stray too far from the camel tracks crisscrossing the region. However, only once in recorded history has this desert consumed an entire army. In 525 BC, Cambyses II, the formidable ruler of the Persian Empire, turned his attention to Egypt. With a powerful army at his command, he swiftly conquered the ancient realm of the pharaohs. A year later, in 524 BC, Cambyses dispatched a 50,000-strong army into the desert from Thebes to attack the Oasis of Siwa, home to the Oracle of Amun. This oracle, revered by the Egyptians, had refused to legitimize Cambyses' rule over Egypt. Enraged, Cambyses sought to crush this rebellion. The ancient Greek historian Herodotus wrote that before the army could reach Siwa, a fierce southerly wind whipped up a massive sandstorm that engulfed them. Not a single soul escaped. Over the years, numerous expeditions, especially throughout the 20th century, have sought to locate the remains of the lost army of Cambyses, to no avail. The many fruitless searches led some Egyptologists to conclude that the story is in fact apocryphal, but this was not to be the end of it. In 2000, while searching for petroleum deposits, an Egyptian geological team stumbled upon artifacts buried in the sand. These included metal fragments resembling weapons, textile pieces likely from clothing, and human remains. An investigation ensued, but no further details emerged. In 2009, a pair of documentary filmmakers discovered what they claimed was evidence of the lost army, including bronze weapons, jewelry, and human remains. However, their findings were discredited as unreliable, as they did not have approval from the Egyptian Supreme Council of Antiquities and refused to publish their findings for review in a scholarly journal. A recent theory by a Dutch archaeologist, who asserts that one cannot die from a sandstorm, suggests the army didn't vanish, but was ambushed by Egyptian rebels. Cambyses' successor, Darius the Great, then fabricated the sandstorm tale for Herodotus to record, to have his rival stricken from the annals of history. Whether it was rebels or a sandstorm, Cambyses managed to take control of almost all of Egypt. Archaeologists and Egyptologists have yet to reach a consensus regarding the fate of the Persian army, and as such, the mystery of the lost army of Cambyses remains unsolved. The Lost Legion of Crassus. At the dawn of the 1st century, the Roman Empire was one of the most awesome forces on the face of the earth, thanks to their vast armies, superior organization, and groundbreaking approaches to engineering. Yet, the Romans did not conquer the entire world. Several nations and cultures remained untouched by their influence. Until recently, China was believed to be one of these, but now it seems that ancient cultures of the Far East may have come into contact with the unstoppable Roman war machine. In 53 BC, the fierce Battle of Carrhae was fought. Roman general Marcus Crassus, the wealthiest man in Rome, led 7 legions of heavy infantry against the Parthian Empire, aiming to extend Roman territories. Near the ancient town of Carrhae in present-day Turkey, the Roman force was lured into the desert, suddenly finding themselves vulnerable. The Roman forces, more than 40,000 strong, were bombarded, exhausted, and ultimately defeated by the Parthian general Serena and his 10,000 horsemen. The humiliated Crassus was killed during an attempt to negotiate a truce. According to various versions of the story, he was either beheaded and his body desecrated, or molten gold was poured down his throat as a symbolic gesture of his unquenchable thirst for wealth. 10,000 Romans were captured and sent to the Far East to fight enemies of the Parthian nation. 17 years later, a group of these soldiers appear to have participated in the Battle of Xixi between the Chinese and the Xiongnu nomadic steppe tribe, apparently having been hired by the latter as mercenaries. Ancient Chinese chronicles from the Han Dynasty mention a group of tall, fair-skinned men fighting in a fish-scale formation, a formation strikingly similar to the Roman testudo or tortoise formation. These men were captured by the Chinese after a skirmish. They were later settled in a place called Lichan, which in Chinese sounds eerily similar to legion. Modern genetic testing of villages in Lichan has revealed that around 56% of their genetic makeup is of Caucasian origin. Exhibiting blue eyes, Roman noses, and sometimes even fair hair, traits uncommon amongst the Chinese, these villagers may well be the descendants of the lost legion of Crassus. Bolstering this theory, a purported Roman helmet inscribed with, quote, "One of the surrendered," was reportedly found in the same village. Ivan Susanin. The time of troubles, from the late 16th century to the early 17th century, was a period of political chaos, famine, and foreign invasion in Russia. The Rurik dynasty, which had ruled Russia for over 7 centuries, ended with the death of Tsar Fyodor I in 1598. This led to a power vacuum, with various factions vying for control of the vast Russian state. Poland-Lithuania, a major European power at the time, saw an opportunity to expand its influence and territory. By 1610, Polish forces had occupied Moscow, and a Polish prince, Władysław IV, was proclaimed Tsar of Russia. However, this imposition was deeply unpopular among the Russian population, and resistance grew. In 1613, a Grand National Assembly elected Mikhail Romanov as the new Tsar of Russia, marking the beginning of the Romanov dynasty. The Romanovs were distant relatives of the last Rurik Tsar, and were seen as having a legitimate claim to the throne. Mikhail's election directly challenged Polish influence and their puppet rulers in Russia. At that time, Mikhail was hiding in the secluded village of Domnino. Envoys were dispatched to inform him of his election to the throne. When the Polish forces learned of Mikhail's election, they sent troops to eliminate him and his family. Legend tells that the Polish troops, unfamiliar with the route to Domnino, sought directions from locals. They encountered Ivan Susanin, a logger, who volunteered to guide them to Mikhail's hideout. After taking a supposed shortcut through a forest, neither the Polish forces nor Susanin were seen again. Historians speculate that Susanin, in an act of martyrdom, led the Polish deep into the forest, ensuring they lost their way. Given the deadly cold of February nights, the Polish likely perished, while Susanin might have been executed upon the realization of his deception. Mikhail ascended the throne, ruling Russia for 32 years and establishing the Romanov dynasty. Ivan Susanin's sacrifice inspired numerous artworks, including the 1836 opera A Life for the Tsar. He remains a revered national hero of Russia. The Ninth Roman Legion. Some mysteries and legends are all the more astonishing due to their sheer scale. One such mystery concerns the unexplained disappearance of over 5,000 elite Roman soldiers. Founded in the late 1st century BC, the Ninth Legion earned its reputation on the battlefields of Spain. Under the leadership of the legendary Julius Caesar, they played pivotal roles in the Gallic Wars and the Roman Civil Wars. By the dawn of the 1st century AD, the Ninth was a symbol of Roman military might. The Legion's fate began to take a mysterious turn when they were dispatched to Britain in 43 AD. Here, they were instrumental in several campaigns, expanding Roman territory and quelling revolts. Their last recorded action was in 108 AD, when they helped rebuild the Roman fortress at Eboracum in modern-day York. With so much battle experience and equipped with high-quality armor and weaponry, it seems highly unlikely that the Ninth Roman Legion could have simply vanished without a trace. That is, however, what historical records suggest. Some say that the Legion was last seen in Caledonia, in modern-day Scotland, where rugged mountains, deep bogs, and dense fog may have caused them to become lost. Others claim that the Legion was attacked by a group of British rebels in London, who, against all odds, managed to slaughter the Romans. A 2015 discovery in Britain unearthed a Roman eagle sculpture, a symbol often associated with Roman legions. Some speculated it might be a relic of the Ninth, and perhaps a sign that they met their fate while still stationed in Britain. Other historians believe that the Legion did not disappear, but that they were in fact transferred to fight elsewhere. Recent archaeological finds add weight to this theory. A collection of Roman inscriptions discovered in the Netherlands suggests the Ninth may have been involved in building campaigns there after their time in Britain. However, these inscriptions do not provide a definitive timeline or fate for the Legion. In the last few years, yet another new theory has emerged, that the Ninth Legion was sent to modern-day Israel to fight on the Empire's eastern front. The mystery of the Ninth Legion's fate remains unsolved, despite several plausible theories having been presented. It is hoped that future archaeological excavations will turn up Roman artifacts relating to the Ninth, offering additional clues as to their final resting place. The expedition of Mansa Musa's predecessor. Before Columbus set sail for the New World, and even before the Vikings touched the shores of North America, there was a West African Mansa, or king, who dreamt of exploring the vastness of the Atlantic Ocean. His identity is debated, but his ambition was clear: uncover what lay beyond the horizon. The tale of this voyage was recounted by the 14th century Mansa Musa, the ninth king of Mali, during his pilgrimage to Mecca in 1324. While in Cairo, he spoke of an unnamed predecessor who had dispatched a large fleet into the Atlantic. North African historian Al-Amari later documented this account. In the early 14th century, the Mali Empire was one of the prosperous Sahelian kingdoms that developed as a result of the Trans-Siberian trade. At its peak, Mali was a hub of learning, culture, and wealth, with its capital, Timbuktu, being a renowned center of knowledge. Mansa Musa's predecessor, not content with the vastness of his empire, sought to expand his knowledge and territories. He believed the Atlantic Ocean was not an endless body of water, but led to other lands. Historical records indicate that an initial fleet of 200 ships embarked on this daring voyage. Laden with gold and supplies, the expedition carried a host of sailors, academics, and artists to explore the lands they believed lay beyond the known ocean. However, the ships, which communicated using drums, hit a storm. The majority are believed to have sailed on. Those who returned on that lone ship warned of a perilous journey, but the Mansa did not believe them. Undeterred, the Mansa commissioned a larger fleet of 2,000 ships and vowed to lead the expedition personally, entrusting his kingdom and wealth to his successor, Mansa Musa. It is unconfirmed whether the second fleet reached the Americas, but agricultural evidence found in Brazil suggests that a trade route might have been established between the Old and New Worlds. Additionally, logbooks from Columbus's third voyage to the Americas indicate that one of his missions was to test claims that Malian gold and weapons had been discovered on the Caribbean island of Hispaniola. The true identity and lineage of the fleet's leader remain unconfirmed, with many historians referring to him simply as, quote, the predecessor of Mansa Musa. Much like other vanished armies, the mystery of this expedition persists, underscoring that where Mother Nature is involved, there is no safety in numbers. Are you ready to unlock the secrets of the past? Subscribe now to Dark Five's brand new Ancient Mysteries channel, and embark on a journey to uncover the most enigmatic and awe-inspiring mysteries of ancient times. Leave a comment if there are any ancient mysteries you want us to explore in upcoming videos.